What am I doing? Keep going. Hi everyone, it's Milena. Welcome to my new show called The Mr. J Test. What's the Mr. J Test? Well, it is my new series where I examine some of my favorite shows from A to Z and figure out whether they pass the Mr. J test. Okay, well, what is the Mr. J test? Well, it's based on the Bechdel test. It is a way to examine media where you see if a project has two female characters who talk to each other about something other than a man. We're going to start the show by examining if the series in question passes the Bechdel test. The second step we're going to take is determining whether it passes the Mr. J test. Two non-white characters talk to each other about something other than a white person. And for the third part of the episode, we're going into the unicorn bonus round, where we determine whether a series has two non-white female characters who talk to each other about something other than a white person or a man. I'm really excited to get started, so let's begin with our first series, starting with an A, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Now, for those of you who grew up with Snick in the 90s, you'll remember Are You Afraid of the Dark? It's one of my favorite shows. It's an anthology program that has a group of kids in Canada who sit in the wilderness around a campfire and tell ghost stories. One of the coolest things about the show is that it often passes the Bechdel test really easily. So in season 1, episode 3, don't even have to go that far, we have the notes here because I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. So I can put them up and see if I can do this. That doesn't work. Oh my goodness. How do the professionals do it? They have a staff and a teleprompter. I have a notebook and my computer. Season 1, episode 3, The Tale of the Lonely Ghost. In this episode, it is whose tale is it? It's David's tale. David is telling this story to the other people in the Midnight Society. Surprisingly, everyone in David's tale is a woman. Most of the tale talks about one girl who is going to her aunt's house for the summer because her parents apparently didn't want to deal with her. And she hangs out with her cousin, but her cousin's really mean. And she says, the only way that you can hang out with me and my friends is if you sleep over in the haunted house next door. It's like, okay. I liked this tale not only because it had, a cast of all women without having to be called the women. It dealt with a ghost and someone's nanny. It was strange that this girl had a nanny even though she was clearly over 13, but she stuck around. So, great. First off, passes the Bechdel test. Thumbs up. Whew, so does it pass the Mr. J test? Well, we're not going episode by episode. We're going through the whole series. Here's the first episode I found, because I didn't do that much research, where it passes the Mr. J test. Episode 7 from season 1, still early on in its run. It lasted for a long time. This episode is called The Tale of the Captured Souls. This tale is told by Kiki. As far as I know, the only black person in the Midnight Society, well, the first incarnation anyway. And her tale deals with this family who goes to this, lake house that they rent for a week. It passes the Mr. J test because the family is a mother, a father, and their daughter, and they're all black. They talk to each other, and since we have a daughter and a mother who sometimes have conversations on their own, and neither of them are white, it also passes the unicorn bonus round. Woo-woo! So, Are You Afraid of the Dark passes the Bechdel test, passes the Mr. J test, and passes the unicorn bonus round. So, hooray for you! Woohoo! Nickelodeon! In the 90s. Haven't watched it recently, but I'm sure it's still great. So that concludes our first episode of the Mr. J test. A, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And tune in again when I go to B, Looking forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye for now.